Caleb again. I know I haven't posted in a while, and what I wanted to talk about today was a topic I've been focused on recently, is exoplanets. Now, there are lots of many interesting exoplanets. Exoplanets are defined as planets beyond our solar system, and what is really important about exoplanets is trying to find an exoplanet that would be suitable for life or intelligent life forms. That can be calculated by Drake's equation, which is calculates the chance, basically, in our solar system of there being an entire intelligent life form that can communicate with us. And it uses multiple different variables. One, that there is a planet developing in the habitable zone. Two, that life develops. Three, that that one of these planets may have life develop. The chances that one of these planets may have semi-advanced life develop, and the chances that these planets will have intelligent life develop, and the chances that it will have intelligent life that can communicate develop. And so if you multiply all of those chances, then you get the chance that we could actually come in contact with extraterrestrials. And there has to be other life in the universe. It's the obvious question of, are we alone? Now, there are a few candidates, but they're maybe, I don't know, 3,000 light years away at the most, or at the least. At the most. So, if by the time we got there, due to relativity, obviously, since time would be moving differently for us, our Earth might be destroyed, or by the time we got there, because we are looking back on 3,000 years ago, that planet might be gone, or a natural disaster might have destroyed it. So, it's not so much the question of, like, habitation, it's the question of, could we contact whoever lives there, and also, could we figure out, are we alone, without going to a place and finding out, which we obviously can't do. The nearest star, which has a fairly large system, is 4 light years away, but by the time we got back, almost if you wanted to get there in your lifetime, then the speed you would have to go would require time to move so slowly for you that back on Earth everyone would be dead once you got back, everyone you knew. So that's not really a viable option. Now, there are many other systems, but all of these depends on the habitable zone, like I mentioned. Now, the habitable zone is, I believe, the temperature of the sun to the power of 4, which is the lumosity, how much light it emits in a specific measurement. Then something about and then if based on that, you can make a radius around it, and there is an outer rim of the radius where it is too far away from the sun and it's too cold, and there is an inner radius, which is too hot. So it's also called the Goldilocks Zone, because obviously the tale of Goldilocks and the 3 bears: too hot and too cold. You have to be somewhere just perfect. And the chances are relatively small, but if you think about it on a smaller scale, but if you consider the entire size of the universe, it is almost improbable that there would not be other intelligent life forms. And it's really astounding. So, now, there are many different known exoplanets, about 1,000 known exoplanets, somewhere around 108 of them known to be habitable, possibly habitable. And so, here are some of them. So there is Gliece 581c. There are a lot of Gliece. A lot of them are Gliece, Kepler. Kepler are named after the Kepler telescope that saw a lot of these. The Kepler, obviously, you'll find a lot of exoplanet systems with the name Kepler. And so, but Gliece 581c is believed to be on the edge of the Goldilocks. So, well, actually, let me explain this. I believe it's in a locked orbit with its sun. So, almost like a moon, but except it's orbiting a sun, so it's a planet. And it orbits around, and since it's in locked orbit, one side is very close to the sun burning up, and the other side is believed to be very cold, too cold, and there's a middle line that scientists theorize could contain life. And there's lots of space art about this, because it's really interesting, but yeah, you can just look that up online. And there are other ones like the HD 40307. Their composition is almost unknown. A few of them people know what the composition would be, but there are some really crazy ones that are obviously not habitable that I would just want to mention is, for example, what was it say? HD 189733B is it rains molten glass there, and also 55 Cancri E, which you can see in a really clear night sky, where the entire planet is made of diamonds. So, anyways, there's a discussion of life in other solar systems. There's Tau Ceti, which is believed to be the closest exoplanet, but scientists have since figured out that it is far too hot. No, it's a gas planet. That's right. So there could also be life within our own solar system. People did think about this for Titan for a while, which is the moon of Saturn, but Titan, in fact, turned out to have giant methane lakes that would by far eradicate all life, and the atmosphere is full of ammonia. It is one of the biggest moons and the most Earth-like, though. Another place would be Europa, which is pretty more obvious than the rest, but Europa, obviously, people think life could live there under the ice, as it does on the bottom of Earth's oceans, right by the thermal vents, because there's some geothermal activity that breaks through the ice that NASA has photographed. There is also Enceladus, which is a cryovolcanic world, although it may have too much ammonia in its system to harbor life, and there is also believed to be 2012 VP113, or 133, correct me if I'm wrong, which is theorized next dwarf planet at the end of the Kuiper Belt, and Sedna, which is a dwarf planet, was thought to have a moon orbiting around it because its orbit was irregular. But it turned out there wasn't a moon, and in order for its orbit to be that messed up, there would have to be a planet. And for them not to see it, it would have to be that distance away and still have an effective pull on it. It would have to be twice the size of Earth. Now, Pluto is also not conducive for life. Triton, most likely not. It really boils down to, also in Mars, it could be possible that we have not found microbial life yet, but who knows? It's an interesting question, and I'd like to think about it. I hope it gives you some food for thought. Thanks, bye.